My high school was best free school in my town. There was a private school in town, but it only accepted exceptional students around country. First day of school, in the middle of the first class, someone knocked our door and window, which I need to rise to my fingertops, was showing a chest covered in something red. My teacher, typical Karen, said to come in. Have you ever wondered what they use to record the breathing noises of the beasts on horror movies? At that moment I tuffed, this is what makes the noise in the movie last night. He was 6.4 feet, 195 centimeters, 245 lbs, 110 kilograms, of violence. He was 2 years older than us, but he take a break for 2 years and came back this year. He was covered in blood and asked the teacher, who was shaking, "Can I sit?" Teacher asked him if he is okay. I remember thinking, if he is not okay, is that means there is a lion or a bear in school. I was 14. He looked at his uniform and said, "It's fine, it will come off easier after it dries." The fact that he knows this was weird. The fact that teacher was afraid was weird. The fact that everyone knew that was human blood was weird. It was a weird encounter. Teacher told him to wait and run off. Then the beast turned to class and said, "I am not gonna lie, I am a violent person, but there is nothing for you to be afraid of. You will get used to being around with me, and as my friends you will never get hurt in my reach." The second he finished his sentence, 4 cops with full gear, shields and shit, came to our class and take him away. I remember all of the class sighed at the same time. It was like a choir. After 2 weeks of suspension he was back at school. But the boy who beat was in a coma and he was out because of that. If the victim dies he goes to prison. That was the deal he get. I remember my father, who is a lawyer at his own firm, was talking about his case. Father said to his colleague, he has a decent lawyer, he could end up in prison. He is lucky there was a witness. I didn't know this could reduce penalty. This conversation made me think that he was someone who can make people lie in court. After he came back he was a weird beast, no one gets close. He was a sleepy giant. He was coming to school throwing a torn up bag to his desk, sleeping trough all classes. Sometimes he wakes up, gets out, gets into a fight and leave early. There was a gossip in school that he goes to a car mechanic after school and locks himself in with people and beats them. One day some middle-aged dude came to school and asked his permission to enter the school for his son's parent-teacher meeting. This was the topic of the day. He was like a beast who rules our school. There were couple of people he was bullying. One day after school my mom was at an art course, so I had to walk home. There is a narrow path which hosts some of the homeless people in our town, and that path makes my walk 15 minutes shorter, and there is a 30-minute walk from my school to my home. I took the path. Halfway through, a drug addict grabbed me by the tie and asked for drugs. I told him I am only a student and I can't afford drugs, he mentioned. Then he pulled out a knife. I remember something hit him so hard my face hurt. He passed out cold. When I looked behind, the beast was there. He asked me if I was alright. I remember sawing robber getting up and run home without saying shit. Next day the beast came school with some sticks and started calling me pussy and ordering me around. I toughed he will stop, but it kept going. It was like hell. My friends started calling me pussy too. It was so sad. I remember crying to my mom about it. After a year of bullying and agony, there was a new girl in school. People said she was sad on her way to school, so she took a break, and after a year she took an exam and skipped class. She was like a lighthouse to me, and she was interested in me too. When she was near me, I was feeling like I can face the world. I realized she was talking to the beast with a smile about us. I toughed. She is so loving. She even befriends that monster. There is no one who can resist her light. After we start dating, I realized bully was not around when we were together, and maybe that makes my love stronger. After I gained some confidence with the help of my GF, I decided it was time to face my bully. I stand in front of him after school, and here is what I remember. Me, you know bullying is wrong, right? Bully, talk. Me, you are bullying people and I am one of your victims. I want you to stop. My father is a good lawyer. If you don't stop, I will make sure that you serve for your wrongdoings. Bully, that would be sad for your parents. They would lose a son and it will make my life harder. I have a family too, you know, and my dad is a cripple, so he can't do shit. My mother barely comes home, so I don't think he can do shit too. But I am a man who solves his own problems with his own hands, and you are a pussy who runs to his dad at the face of any danger. So in other words, no one other you can solve your problem. Me, only I can solve my problem, huh? How can I beat you? You are a monster who are tall and powerful. I am a man in a 5-year-old's body. Bully, you know what? You started rebelling. That's a step. Keep up the good work. Me, F you. Dad, he got you good. Putting ice to my black eye. After that day he never bullied me again, and my life was perfect. At the last year of high school, my GF asked me on a date at a park near my house. I agreed, and she picked me up from home. When we went to park, we saw a bully with his father. He was giving his father a beer. He was taking a sip too. I found that disrespectful and talked about it to my GF. My GF told me that bully is a very nice man and I should respect him for his accomplishments. I questioned her mental health in my mind. Then she explained the boy who SA'd her at the first day was the boy the beast put to a coma. That was the reason he was covered in blood. The bullies of our school gets bullied by him, so no one gets bullied in our school now. I asked her if she knew about me, and she told me, you acted like a coward and he treated you like a coward, but that was what made me love you. I couldn't love someone who is masculine. I went near to Beast meet his father. He couldn't move his limbs at all. I greeted him. Beast told me to shake his father's hand, gave me my first beer, and whenever I open a beer the sound it makes make me remember the small chat we four had on the bank. He explained his mother was unfaithful and left his father for another man after he injured on a fight to protect his son, and now he intends to live like the man who his father was. And that's why he detests me. He told me if someone put an effort for you, you should show the same. If someone helps you can't run, you should just perish together. If you won't do that, just leave her now so she cannot perish while you run. That last part hit me like a train. He was a lone beast trying to protect a flock of sheeps. And sheeps were disgusted of him, afraid of him, act like he doesn't exist. I realized how he had felt when I run. I started crying. I don't know why. I cried like something in me was broken. I felt like a man who would abandon anyone, and that broke me. That was the last time I saw him. I learned he dropped school for working at a car mechanic. After college I got deployed. I arranged my wedding while I was still in military and got married the day I returned. I was almost late to my wedding because of a delay in my plane. And when my wife were expecting my firstborn, she decided to go to a wedding in our hometown. I said absolutely no, and then he said someone tamed the beast. I cried out of joy. We went to his wedding and realized we missed our town. And the city life was harsher than small town. We decided we will stay until firstborn's school age. After couple of weeks my wife explained to me the beast's wife was sad and got pregnant, so her parents kicked her out and she was staying at the path which beast got stabbed. So our lone guardian took her into his mechanic. Yes, he bought the town's mechanic after her mother died of OD and sold the house she got from his dad during divorce. After a month of refuge in mechanic, he told the girl to come live at his house because of her condition. He helped her with labor and she took care of his father well. During his military service he came back as a war hero. After docs say his father can't live long, she asked him to fix himself until wedding. After wedding his father killed himself before he gets any worse. I remember telling Beast during an evase she is pregnant, referring to my wife, and him saying how did you understand that, referring to his wife. He has 4 boys, 2 of them are twins, and I have 1 boy 2 daughters. My second daughter and his twins are same age, 5, and they call themselves the Musketeers and act like the Beast is a villain, and this shit melts my heart. Seeing the guardian of our life happy is enough to make my family happy. This is a revoked version of my grandparents' answer to how have you met. I labeled fiction because I filled up the story. I only know grandpa lawyer is nearly got stabbed. My grand take 1 for him. He ran away and he came to wedding with a 8 months into pregnancy wife, so debt paid. And my grandma's story of SA, and that's the reason why my grandmas were besties. The fact that I have 2 pairs of grandparents is awesome. I am the oldest boy of Bully's son. Yes, he is not my biological grandpa, but until I listened to his story at 25 years of age I could never ever dream of something this heavy. He always loved me and dad. I never met grandma, but dad said she was a good mother to him. My father is a teacher. My twin uncles owns the body shop, and my 4th uncle is a formal spec ops, they say. Grandma died giving birth to 5th, but youngest uncle died a week later because of a mistake at C-section. Something about trying to save the grandmom. I don't know what it is exactly. It's kinda taboo to talk about.